Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. Thanks for joining me today. If you're wondering what that was my microphone, which doesn't want to stay attached. There, we'll try that. So that's my jewelry for today. So listen, today we're going to be talking about justice. We're going to be talking about why the delay of justice. We're going to be talking about when are we going to get justice. We're going to be talking about if we're going to get justice. Now, if you've watched this channel before, you know that I talk to my spirit guides and they help me get answers to things that I want to know. And in this case, I want justice. So we've had many new developments in the news lately regarding the January 6th committee and their investigation. And we've also had important news releases regarding rulings, judges' opinions regarding the former guy, that's the president number 45, and or his attorney, Eastman, and just a whole lot of people. And you will hopefully remember, if you've been a long-time viewer, and thank you if you have, remember I did this video where I kept trying to say Scavino, Schiavone, that guy, right? That guy, it was the head of Trump's social media. He is back in the news because he is declining to go before the Jan 6 committee, and they are going to subpoena him. And I'm here to tell you that that man still figures very prominently in the energy around bringing down 45. So also I will remind you that the guides talked about 100 archers with 100 arrows, each archer firing their arrow at 45. 95 arrows miss their mark. 5 arrows land. Impact 45's energy. 5. 3 arrows bring him down. So again, I'm saying this because we need to have some perspective, right? We need to understand that 45 may escape a whole lot of justice, okay? But in the end, he is going to be brought down. And that's why I'm doing this video today, because I want to try to help you understand the landscape that we are going into, because I feel like with some information and perspective, you're going to enjoy your summer a lot better. And what that means is that Spirit showed me, they started talking to me yesterday, nonstop about this and a few other things. So here's the deal. The deal is that Americans, I want to use that term a little bit loosely. Let's say not Americans. Well, they want to say Americans. So, I mean, you know, I got to go with what they're going to say. Americans were not ready to put a former president in prison. End of story. There was no willpower. There was no stomach for it. There was no support. There was no support. Now, also, when you go back to some of the earlier videos after Jan 6, you'll see that I often saw Trump in a white room, a white place, like white walls, white ceilings, a very clinical, not more like a hospital or some sort of place that would not be a home, okay? So I don't see Trump behind bars, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. I've never seen him in a prison cell, but I have seen him in this place. Now, whether this is a special place that the United States creates to hold him, I mean, he is a former president. I mean, he cannot be, for security purposes, okay? For security purposes, I know that's laughable. I know, I hear you laughing right now. He's already sold secrets. We already know that. Saudi Arabia just popped into my mind. He's already given things to Saudi Arabia. He's already given things to Russia. We know that. Belarus. Look, anybody that had money, it was a thing that he could sell. Okay. So, but anyway, for security purposes, meaning he's still a former president. It still looks bad on us. We still have to find a way to contain this mess. We can't put him in Rikers Island and put him next to Bubba. And, you know, that's just not going to work, right? The best thing to do is to isolate him, truly, meaning absolutely no communication, and to contain him. And that would be the worst thing for him. I mean, that is a prison sentence that would truly hurt him, to not be able to communicate and to be isolated and diminished. Okay, so we have to come up with a plan that's fit and worthy of a next president. That is just that. So that's something that's being worked on. So going forward, I just want to say that today even AOC said, look, we tried to impeach this guy, again, and the Democrats said no, we couldn't do it. There wasn't support. And that's just the truth, okay? It's just the truth. I know it's a travesty of justice. I get it. I'm as mad as you are. If you guys think that the views that I espouse here are from my spirit guides, they're not from me. I am a way different person. So please don't shoot the messenger. So here's the thing. Here's the good news. Here's the good news. The good news is that public opinion is changing. Public opinion is changing. Now, when I said Americans, of course, I'm an American, but I'm not one of those people that would be upset with Trump going to any kind of jail. Okay, but apparently the guides feel like there's a clump of Americans that are not R and they're not D, or maybe they're very casually R or casually D. They're the middle. That's the middle ground. Those people have not had the stomach, did not want to see it, would not support it. And the bottom line here, folks, is those people sway the opinions of our politicians. So this is why we have not gone after him like maybe we could have, okay? This is why Garland has not gone after him like maybe he should have or could have. Add to that, the guides are saying that these people, the R's, are experts at loopholes. They're legal experts. They literally have think tanks that do nothing but go through our Constitution with a fine-tooth comb, go through our laws with a fine-tooth comb, looking for some sort of loophole, and then matching that loophole with a judge appointed by Reagan or Trump or even George H. or G.W. Bush, to find that match with this loophole and this judge. Boom, we're going to exacerbate. We're going to go through that loophole. Okay, so Garland needed this to be completely beyond watertight. Now, something else I need to tell you, and this is why the good news is coming in, is that public opinion is changing. Ukraine has changed Americans, the majority of Americans' opinions against Russia. Just 2 months ago, it's a vast majority of registered Republicans were pro-Russia. That is now changing. And the middle of those two poles, the R and the D's, those people that are maybe undecided, those people have vastly changed their opinion. So now we have a sea change across America with the opinion about Russia. Point number one. Point number two, Biden is killing it. Now, you have to know, if you've watched me, I am not a Pollyanna. I've never been a complete rah-rah Biden person. I have been, sort of back and forth a little bit. But I'm here to tell you that today, the energy looking forward is absolutely amazing. It's magic. What this man and the DOJ and the Fed, what this man and the Fed have done, and I'm going to throw Fauci in there too. What they have done is nothing short of history making. Okay? Now they've made history to this point, but what they're about to do this summer is going to put them in the history books, and they're giving me chills. And the reason why is because our economy fell off a cliff during COVID. They resurrected it. They sent that money out into Americans in the Americans' bank accounts, and in many cases, people got these loans that were forgiven. In other cases, you got $600, $1,400, whatever. In other cases, you got unemployment for the first time. If you're a gig worker, you got unemployment for the first time. If you were a waitress, a waiter, a photographer, a DJ, a gig worker, someone who just had a small business, you got unemployment, and you got really good unemployment too. All that money infused into the country. People put it in their bank accounts, their savings accounts. People were able to pay their bills. People were able to quit jobs that they truly hated. And they're not going back to them because they hated those jobs and they wanted better pay or better working conditions or whatever it is they wanted. They're now getting, because the job forecast, our job rate is never been lower since 1969. 1969 is the last time we had such a good job environment. Now, I know there's people who always tell me, I'm not getting affected. I didn't get the money. I did terrible. I'm sorry. My heart goes out to you. I'm terribly sorry. There's always going to be people that fall through the cracks, and I'm terribly sorry about that. But overall, the guides are telling me, the guides are actually pushing back on that, to be honest with you. And this is why you guys call my guides Republicans. I swear to God, that cracks me up. Okay, look, everybody's Social Security went up a little bit. Everybody's going to benefit from this. Okay, I'm just telling you right now, everybody's going to benefit from this. Maybe your boat didn't get lifted as high as the other boats. You know, high tide lifts all boats, but maybe your boat didn't go up enough. And I'm sorry for that. But there certainly are opportunities here, and there's more to come. There's more to come. So let me talk about that. Gas prices are going down. Hallelujah, right? That's a big deal for these Republicans because they all drive, F-250s. If you don't know what that is, it's a big ass truck. Takes a lot of gas and uses a lot of gas. So this is going to hit their pocketbook. This is going to calm them down. The other thing is, oh my gosh, the oil. Now again, all the environmentalists are going to complain. Look, I'm just telling you like it is, okay? Don't complain to me, complain to them. 1-800-SPIRIT Guide. Our oil reserves, the leases in the oil industry are not tapped. The industry has not tapped them, and there's money to be made there. They are hiring in the oil industry like gangbusters. They're hiring. It is on. Money is flowing. I don't know what number I'm on. 3? I don't know. The United States grabbed an amazing deal with Europe to supply Europe with natural gas. Money is flowing into the United States. That was a coup that Biden got. That was a big coup. That was a big coup. I don't even know how he did that. I don't even know that we were that competitive, but he did. So you know what? Those Republicans are not going to be complaining. And you want to know why? Their gas tanks are full and they're going to be working overtime. They're not going to have any time to complain. They're going to look like idiots if they complain. All the things that are happening are truly going to benefit the Republican voters. I mean, they're going to benefit everybody, right? But obviously, oil-producing states, natural gas-producing states tend to be Republican. These sea changes are happening across the land. Biden is also talking about so many things that are going to impact all of us, including Democrats. He's talking about reducing the budget next year by $1 trillion. Trillion. Trump increased the budget every year. Biden is decreasing the budget. Biden is talking about things that are going to help every single American, like childcare. Offering childcare. Now, again, you have these Republicans that are getting childcare, overtime, lower gas prices. They're going to shut up. They're not going to become Democrats, but they're going to be quiet. because they're enjoying this. Do you guys remember when, because I saw it myself with my own eyes. I have friends that were Republicans and they own a small business. And when Obama introduced Obamacare and they could get cheap health insurance and they were in their 50s and they got cheap health insurance, you want to know what? They became Democrats overnight. Policy does change hearts and minds. Okay? And Biden is loaded up and swinging for the fences. I'm telling you guys, it is nothing short of history making and magic all wove together. Go back and listen to my other videos. I don't talk like this typically. I really don't. I give you the straight talk. So going forward, you know, the guides used the term land of milk and honey. Now, if that's just not ridiculous, I mean, I just think that's ridiculous. But that's what they're talking about. So I think this summer, going into August, right? So they wanted to talk about this. And they wanted to talk about something else, but they're really good about bringing it back to me. So why is this important? Why is this going to change justice, right? Why does any of that have anything to do with justice? Well, guess what? All of those R's are going to be working out of town, working that double time, buying those toys, taking those vacations. They're not going to be going to Trump rallies. And they're probably not even going to vote because they don't really care about the things that Republicans are trotting out. They don't care about trans kids. They don't care about gay people. They don't care about interracial marriage. They don't really care about the border because they've got jobs. They're making darn good money and they're making time and a half and they're filling up their tanks. And who's got time to complain when you're busy making money and taking vacations? Okay, so there goes the Republican support. Now, for all those people in the middle, they now are seriously anti-Russia. Okay, and just not going to take much. It's not going to take much of PR or advertising or social media presence to throw those people that are supported by Russia and supported Russia as recently as 2 months ago out there, and they're going to be branded as un-American. And they're going to start dropping like flies. Now, let me get to the main prize. The main prize is 45. So what they had told me was Garland, and I have not always been a fan. Garland is divinely guided. Now, when they tell me this stuff, literally they told me this yesterday, and I literally had to talk to them for 24 hours before I even did this video because, sometimes I can be argumentative. But they convinced me that Garland is divinely guided. So he knows without knowing. Because when you're divinely guided, that's sometimes what happens, right? You're sort of guided and you're not really sure you're being guided. It's sort of under the surface. He knows that, as they mentioned a few minutes ago, that he has to have a watertight, foolproof case. So he's taken his time. So the guides have showed me, and it's interesting because it's just now planting season. And they wanted to use that analogy that the ground is now fertile to plant the seeds. It wasn't fertile last year. It was the wrong time of year to plant those seeds. Now it's the right time. We're planting our seeds. The crop grows through May, June, July. We harvest the crop in August. So as these things that Biden is putting into place that are oh so important, that will have real impacts on Americans, as those things seep into our consciousness and we feel them, we have that money, We have the job. We feel the security. Then they drop the hammer. They drop the hammer on 45, and it sticks because what do we say? Well, by August, you're getting ready for hunting season. You're fishing, you're four-wheeling, got your RV out, got your boat out. You're busy. You're cooking out, you're having a good time, you're making bank. If Trump goes down, you don't care anymore. You just don't care anymore. Do you guys see this? Can you see it the way I see it? It's beautiful. Because it couldn't happen any other way. There's no way these charges would stick if we'd have done them last year, or if we'd have done them in January or in February or even this month. It would have just divided everybody, torn the country apart, created more havoc. So yes, Biden deserves a lot of credit, and so does the Fed. The people that Biden have put in these positions have been stellar. Just stellar. Professional. Uncompromised and uncompromated. And they're doing their job, and they're doing their job probably when the stakes couldn't be higher. But does he know? Did we all know that this thing with Ukraine was going to happen? Because I didn't. Nobody told me. Nobody told me the details. We could see that something good was going to happen. I could see that he was going to go down. I knew that he was going to go down. But I couldn't understand the details. Spirit doesn't always share with us the nitty-gritty details. We don't really need to know them, to be honest with you. We just know that the Ukraine event changed the world forever. Forever. Period. End of statement. So Biden is going to bring Trump down. And instead of the vision that I saw as a potentiality of Biden bringing 45 down and us having massive unrest and all of these yahoos with their AKs out in our streets, we're not going to see that now. It's a so much better de-escalation to what could have happened. It's absolutely just mind-bending to me. It's historical. So what else do they want to tell you? I don't know. You will see other Congress people and potentially senators be indicted or charged. You may see, you will definitely see people under them, they're calling them co-conspirators, be charged and go to prison. But I don't know that we're going to see too many high-ranking people go to prison. They will definitely step down. There will be a change. The guides have already said this, right? Liz Cheney has positioned herself to be the new head of the new Republican Party. Even Biden has said there may not be a Republican Party in the next presidential election. This is a real possibility. Either Liz Cheney's going to take over the Republican Party and be the new face of the Republican Party, which is what she wants. This is what she's doing. This is why she's on Jan 6 committee. Don't underestimate that woman. And she's not our friend. I know she might be doing the right thing, but she still votes the wrong way on everything that's important. That really, honestly, should be a bipartisan vote. So she's not our friend. She's not bipartisan. She is angling herself for power. And that vacuum will create that power. And then the last thing I'll say, I'm not going to get deep into this, but I will say that Russia still has, the word they used was control over some of these people, and not Liz Cheney. She is not controlled by Russia. She's controlled by her own ambition. Okay, that's enough. But there are U.S. senators and representatives that are still being controlled by them. Okay, and he will step that up. Okay, you will see. It's as if there's a very thin curtain that they think that we can't see through, but we can. So they're doing all these, machinations, all these deals behind this curtain, thinking they have privacy, but we can see through it. Now, we may only be able to see outlines, shadows, but it's pretty evident by their silhouette who they are and what they're doing. So that's the picture they're showing me. We're going to be able to see more of what's happening. Maybe not perhaps completely 3D in person like you're seeing me, perhaps with a little bit of a filter over it, but it's still enough to let us know what's really going on. So listen, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this made sense. I really hope that it's given you an uplifting sense of purpose, a renewed sense of hope, because I really do have a renewed sense of hope. I know I didn't talk about COVID, but it's to the guides. Remember, the guides are ahead of us. Okay, the guides are like 2 months ahead. To the guides, we will just work through it. We're not going to be affected by it the way some people are saying. We will be affected by it, but we will work through it. We will create new modalities, new treatments like the pill. It's all about diagnosis, get the test, diagnosis, take the pill, get over the virus, go back to work. It's as if we just need to create a new modality, a new series of steps. Okay? But we have everything we need. We just need to put it together. And the guides are not, I don't know, the guides are not worried about it. Like, don't ask me. That's all I can say. But so, last thing, I don't know if you haven't been watching me very long, you don't know that I bought these confetti cannons to shoot off when 45 or one of these other people that I really don't like go to the happy place where they get one phone call. So this is coming. The guides have been showing me this. I am going to shoot this off. But again, they generally are about 2 months out from us. So, but stay tuned. This thing is, I'll just share this with you really quickly, because I was a photographer for most of my adult life before I switched to become a full-time psychic medium person. So they show me this shooting it off in slow motion. Like, just imagine the confetti going in slow motion and me looking up in slow motion, and then different camera angles. Like, I've got a camera down here that shoots up, and I have a camera from this side, multiple camera angles in slow. It's like a Hollywood event. And I'm like thinking to myself, have you lost your mind? I don't have 3 cameras and camera people and lights, and how am I going to pull that off? Maybe that's just from my own. Maybe that's is something they're showing me to just make me happy, because it really does make me happy. It's literally in slow motion. You can see every colored confetti floating by themselves. It's amazing. Listen, I hope you guys are doing really well. Take really good care of yourselves. I'll be back again with more information as my guides give it to me. We'll be doing some spiritual, metaphysical things. I actually have a class that I'm going to be teaching with Medium Kim. That's Medium Kim on YouTube. Stay tuned for that. I do believe it's going to be on the ascension, on being part of the ascension. How is the ascension affecting us? That sort of thing. It's coming up. We're going to be announcing it very soon, so stay tuned for that as well. Take really good care, everybody. Please like, subscribe, share, all those good things, because I always appreciate your support. I also have a membership channel on patreon.com that we do all spiritual. We have Zoom chats, we have classes. It's a lot of fun. You might want to check that out. All this information will be in the description box below. Take really good care. We'll talk soon. Adios. For entertainment purposes only.